Welcome to the Sauce and Gravy channel. This is Johnny Mac, the gravy guy. Get ready for me to show you how to make another delicious sauce. This is a velouté sauce derivative called a Bontemps sauce. Goes great on poultry or any white meat for that matter. I've even had it with fish. So you know what? Let me show you how to make it. Prep work first as always. Start off with a yellow onion, slice it and dice it. 2 tablespoons or roughly 25 grams will be needed for this recipe. It's not going to stay in the sauce, so it doesn't have to be purty. Alright, prep work's done. Not too bad, right? Let me show you how to take care of the sauce. Grab a skillet or a sauce pot, put it on a burner, crank it up to medium heat. Drop in 1 tablespoon of butter, 14 grams, melt it down. Round up your 2 tablespoons of chopped yellow onion and add them to the skillet. Cook these guys for a few minutes until they're lightly brown around the edges. Depending on the time you have, you may also want to caramelize the onions. Why not? At the tail end of cooking the onions, drop in 1/8 of a teaspoon of paprika. I'm using hot smoked paprika. And then you can drop in or squeeze in Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon, that's about 15 grams. Give it a quick once over to mix everything up. Moving right along, the next step in the sauce making process is to deglaze the pan. For this recipe, it calls for a hard cider. Try not to drink it all. You'll need at least 3/4 of a cup or 187 milliliters for this recipe. You might want to crank your burner up a little bit higher. You want to bring this to a simmer. Grab your whisk and start mixing everything in together, scraping the sides and bottom of the pan to make sure that all of those bits and pieces are incorporated into the liquid. That's flavor, and you want it all up in that liquid. Once it starts to simmer, you can turn your heat down to medium to low. Reduce this mixture until it becomes thick. You can see trails whenever you stir. The bubbles are well pronounced, but mainly it's just thick and looks absolutely delicious. That looks good enough to be a sauce on its own, but wait, there's more. Put it to the side, grab another skillet or a saucepan. So you know the drill. Heat's over medium, butter in the pan. It's 1.5 tablespoons, 21 grams, melt it down. If you'd like to brown the butter a tiny bit, why not? Go for it, it's a blonde sauce. Once the butter is where you like it, add 1.5 tablespoons of flour, 12 grams, cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes or until it has a nice blonde color. And your roux, it should look like wet sand, about like this. After about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how hot your burner is, your roux should have a touch of a blonde color to it. Nice work. Now it's time to add the cooking liquid. For this recipe, it calls for chicken stock, 1 cup or roughly about 250 milliliters. Whisk it in over medium heat. If you'd like to gear this more towards a fish type dish, you could always substitute the chicken stock with a fish fumet or a fish stock. Give it a stir, bring it to a simmer. Once it starts to simmer, you can reduce the heat down to low and cook it until it's as thick as you like. It doesn't take very long, so don't go anywhere. Sweet, so now you have the 2 main moving parts of this Bontemps sauce ready to go. You have the velouté sauce and you have that cider and onion mixture. For this step of the sauce making process, we'll bring it all together. Put your onion mixture back over low heat, stir it up, and warm it up slightly. Whenever it's loosened up, pour in that velouté sauce. Make sure to get every last drop. Turn your burner up to medium heat, mix, you might even grab a whisk, it makes it easier. For this step of the process, bring the sauce to a light simmer. You're just infusing flavor and you're warming up the sauce. After a minute or so, you have this, a nice, delicious, rich, thick sauce. Nice work, hang in there. There's just a few more quick things to do. Turn off the heat and we're gonna mount with butter. 3 tablespoons, 42 grams of cubed cold butter. When mounting with butter, just make sure that your heat is off and you could use a spoon or a spatula or just grab that saucepan and give it a shimmy and a shake. And voila, your Bontemps sauce is now rich, creamy, and has a nice glossy texture to it. Give that bad boy a taste to see if you need to adjust the seasoning. Wow, that is good. Add a touch of salt, maybe a dash of white pepper. Last but not least, you'll strain the sauce. Now that's for the traditional recipe. If you wanted to keep those onions in the sauce, why not? It's homemade. You can do what you like. It's not going to taste bad. It only adds to the sauce and the texture. So if you want to do it, why not? But for the traditional recipe, grab a fine sieve and strain that sauce into a new clean saucepan. That is how you make a Bontemps sauce, a classic velouté derivative sauce. Thanks for watching the Sauce and Gravy channel. Remember, it's just you, me, and the sauces. Keep whisking, y'all.